4 wounded, 9 arrested. That is what so far Harry and Meghan's vanity tour has yielded. Violence, unrest, unhappiness, and most of all, it has exposed these two people as the worst grifters, along with Francia Marquez. Let's get into this, guys, because it's pretty bad.
Your grandmother used to say it too also. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But what's happened?
My friend in Colombia, she just wanted to go to Cartagena for a nice, lovely weekend with her daughter. So they went all the way from Medellin to Cartagena on Friday. To her dismay, the streets were taken by the military. People are on the streets complaining. It felt like the whole city of Cartagena was at war. She couldn't go places. Everything was basically, most of the roads were closed off, especially the ones for the public. So she couldn't go anywhere. But the worst part of it all came late afternoon. This is according to my friend. As you can see, she sent me this text because she was quite worried. And in this text, she says that things are insane, that she doesn't understand, what's going on, that there were 4 wounded and 9 arrested. 5 of them are women. Women, by the way, who were protesting. These women are in vulnerable situations. They're single moms. They're very poor, and they receive funds, social security funds, to survive. Because this is not this is proper poverty. So these hardworking single moms do require the government's assistance. And because they have work, they have part of their money goes to these social services in case they need it. They haven't received them in months. They haven't received their check that they need to survive in months. Meanwhile, Francia Marquez has spent over $2 million in vehicles alone to cater Harry and Meghan around Colombia. In private helicopters, in airplanes, over $2 million in vehicles alone, because she bought over 8 bulletproof cars. There were tanks. This is insane. Not even when Prince Charles and Camilla went to Cartagena, or even Sophie, everything was low key. They went to what they went. But what have they done? Nothing. So just in vehicles alone is $2 million. For what? And on top of that, she has basically surrounded the entire city of Cartagena last night with over 3,000 policemen. So Harry and Meghan could walk around. There were no crowds anywhere, nothing. Nobody showed up anywhere. That symposium that they gave, nobody was there. They were talking to an empty room. They trick children, school children, into staying late. These children are already in a very dangerous area. So they finish school early and they go after school very early. This whole vanity project is just for Francia Marquez and for Harry and Meghan Markle, especially Meghan Markle, who wants to feel important, even though everything has backfired because the trip has not been about her, unlike Nigeria. So far, the only fruits that this vanity tour has yielded is violence, women being arrested, 4 wounded, and Francia Marquez is suppressing. She is suppressing the news. You won't hear this anywhere in the news at all. You won't hear it at all. Because this is dictatorship. Because Francia Marquez has gotten a taste of la vida rica, la vida sabrosa, of vivir sabroso, living yummy, living well. And she's not about to let it go, even if she has to use military force and put everybody in prison and have people harmed and wounded. So that is the woman that Harry and Meghan are walking around. Now, Francia Marquez got a taste for how successful a royal tour is when Sophie, Her Royal Highness Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, went there last year. But as you can see from here, this is a whole different, this is a professional collaboration visit. Sophie was invited. It was organized by the government, by the organizations. There was an invite. We know that Francia Marquez is lying, and the excuse that she said that she saw them on Netflix is even more pathetic to cover the lie for the fact that Meghan Markle reached out to her from the office of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. What is really appalling to the people of Colombia is that Francia Marquez based her entire political slogans on anti-colonialism. This is just like talking anti-KKK or Hitler and inviting him or them over and treating them like they're the best thing on earth, because that's what Francia Marquez is doing. She has invited the symbols of colonialism, the very same people she denounced and wants money paid because of the slavery, in spite of the fact that it was the English who helped the Colombians with the Spanish rule. I don't know if you know that. There was even a plaque that King Charles, well, then Prince Charles, unveiled in 2014 in his visit to Cartagena, honoring the British soldiers who helped the Colombians get rid of the Spanish colonialists who were enslaving them. It wasn't the British who were the people that it wasn't the British Empire who enslaved the Colombians. It was the Spanish Empire, like it was the case in all of Latin America. It was the case in Nicaragua, the entire Latin America. In fact, there is the Independence Day series in September, and it's usually in Central America. They pass the torch, and it's pretty much around the same time each Independence Days. It is not from the British Empire's rule. It is from the Spanish Empire's colonialist and slavery that they had here for years and years and years. So the British soldiers risked their lives to free the Colombian indigenous people from the slavery colonialist rule of the Spanish Empire. And yet later on, this plaque was destroyed by a Colombian, citing that the British were the ones who enslaved them, when that was never the case. In fact, the Spanish Empire, where the Spanish royal family, the Spanish monarchy, was the first one in the European area to implement slavery, along with Portugal. Portugal was brutal. Portugal was brutal in the way that they were and the British were the first ones to eliminate it. So, and this is one of the reasons, according to my friend, that even the current mayor of Cartagena was not invited to meet with Harry and Meghan. I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't have any reason to doubt her that the mayor of Cartagena was not invited, in spite of the fact that these two people came to his city. Because Francia Marquez wants to control the visit and make it all about her. But she ran into a huge problem because Meghan is not about to let her do that. You can see here that Meghan Markle is always placing herself in the middle, as though she's the blood royal. To this time, I haven't seen one picture of Francia Marquez alone with Harry. If you can, please leave it in the comments, because I haven't seen it. Send me the link. One picture of Prince Harry with Francia Marquez alone without Meghan, because she's always planting herself in the middle, in spite of the fact that she's not wanted. Harry is so over this trip, but it's too late now, because this is terrible. This has yielded so much violence, so much despair. Children were used and abused. That's a form of abuse to children. For what? For Meghan Markle to talk about what grandmothers say about when you have nothing to say, don't say nothing at all. Then she should tell that to all her bullies online that she has said on people. Because she has said bullies online. Her cult followers are the worst. They threaten to kill people. And not only, I receive death threats on a constant basis, regularly. Not only to kill me, but my son and my entire generations. They have trashed and they were disgusting about the Princess Catherine cancer's diagnosis. So what did Harry and Meghan do? What is the purpose? Because the Colombians don't know what they're doing there. Colombians, they don't even know what they're doing there. They don't even know who they are. They don't even know who they are. And for what? So far, as of yesterday, 4 wounded, 9 arrested, 5 of them women in vulnerable situations, single mothers, who were protesting the fact that they haven't received in months their payment that helps them survive with their children. While Harry and Meghan are riding around, and it's costing these very same people, because these women that were arrested, it's not that they don't work. They work like 10, 12 hours a day to support their children. But it's just not enough, because the poverty levels, the violence in Colombia is through the roof, the civil unrest. And Harry and Meghan just flew there to contribute to it even further. It is a sad day that these 2 idiots are still being allowed to run around using royal titles. And Francia Marquez has shown her worst hypocritical trait, because she invited the very same people that she basically trashed to get herself elected. And she's showing deference because she's not even walking next to Harry. She's walking behind them. Yes, master. Yes, master. What is it gonna take? And what is the saddest thing is that the press is suppressing all of this. I found out because my friend, basically, they locked themselves in the apartment in their friend's apartment. Nobody went out because the whole city was taken over by the military. What sad days. And all of this. What are the news from the royal family? Oh, King Charles tells Prince Andrew that he's not going to pay his security. And the false rumors spread by the mainstream media that the Sandringham Summit to remove Harry's titles, because let's not forget that what Francia Marquez is paying millions to run around with these 2 idiots. And Harry, when asked about giving up his title, refused. He said, what for? He's never giving up his title. So this man has not renounced or denounced the very institution, while he holds one of the highest titles within that institution. It would have been a completely different scenario if Harry, because Meghan, I want to stress this, has no titles. Meghan gets to use as courtesy the titles of her husband because she was allowed to. Because the monarch can refrain her, can stop that too. Do you guys remember the Duke and Duchess of Windsor? Wallis Simpson? She was not allowed to use the HRH, and it was a huge point of contention for the Duke of Windsor, because he said, but she should wear it. But no, because the monarch can decide that, guys. And whoever is telling you that the monarch can't do that and has to go into parliament and to do that, it's lying to you. And these people should be called out for lying and creating confusion. The monarch has the absolute control over all royal titles, styles, and dignities, as you're reading here from the UK Parliament, who responded to the many petitions asking Parliament to remove Harry's titles. And Parliament has responded repeatedly saying, we have nothing to do with that. It's up to the monarch. So Harry has not given up his titles. That would have been a completely different story if Harry had given up his titles and said, I'm renouncing to this terrible family because they did X, Y, and Z to my wife and they're terrible people. But no, Harry and his skanky wife are exploiting the very same titles. And now Francia Marquez is showing deference to the very colonialist people that she trashed. And the royal family, the monarch, quiet. His silence is so loud, it's telling. At what point? What point? Does somebody have to die? And unfortunately, the press is complicit because they're not saying anything. All you can hear, oh, Meghan looked fantastic. What a shameful day for the monarchy. What a shameful day for the press. And what a sad day for the people of Colombia. Please leave me your comments.